Greetings, Light Warriors. This would be my first lightsaber review. My first online purchase of a lightsaber was an Ultrasaber. It's called the Ultrasaber Dorinian, which is, I guess, a relatively new type of hilt. So, I've never reviewed a lightsaber before. I chose what seems to be the most balanced between reputation and quality, and that would be Ultrasabers. There's a few other lightsaber companies out there, so ultrasabers.com is where I got this. And obviously I'm used to building my own lightsabers like good old Wave here. Please see the construction of this lightsaber on my channel. And, well, not the construction of this one, but at least a lightsaber video about the lightsaber I call Wave, which was a home-built one. But I needed to order a lightsaber. Here, I'll light it up for you real quickly. It's fairly bright. I needed to order one so I would know how a real saber manufacturer, not a DIY saber, is done. And so I went with Ultrasabers. Now, there are some things they did quite a bit differently. We're going to start with the hilt. First off, the ordering process. Ordering process, their website is really good. You can go through and you can kind of customize your color, whether you want a soundboard or not. I didn't want a soundboard in mine. There's all kinds of different hilts you can get. Some are more for display, and some are more for, just kind of as something to show off to your friends. And some are more functional, like for dueling. This is kind of a compromise between the two. This one is not really for dueling as much as my DIY lightsaber, which is really more for performance and practice than this one. And I say that because it does have some bits and bobs in here. Excuse me, some bits and bobs, some things on here that don't really serve a function. And to be honest, they get in the way for the serious saberist who is actually doing this either for dueling or for, serious use, right? So in this case, obviously no soundboard. I don't like soundboards because they distract me, and I don't think they sound particularly realistic. But someday I'll get one with a soundboard. But in this case, one of the problems, obviously it's a beautiful hilt. It's a really cool looking hilt, and you can get this in different colors like red and more of a silvery color. I went with black. But one of the issues is these bits and bobs can unscrew and come off relatively easily. And maybe that was intentional on their part to make these easily removable. But the problem is, as you can see, I've already lost the piece right here. And it came off a little too easily, and I lost another piece here. Who knows where it is? When it came off the first time, I easily picked it up and put it back on. But since then, have no idea where it is. Maybe even a little bit of Loctite would have, to lock the threads in place, would have prevented that from happening. However, there wasn't anything like that on here. And obviously, if you're going to order a saber like that has doodads on it, and if you're going to give it to kids or if you're going to use it a lot, maybe you should go ahead and put some Loctite into these threads to keep these bits and doodads on. In fact, I should probably do that as soon as I can. Let's go to the blade. It's durable, it's polycarbonate tubing, it's light, it's very even, it's very brilliant, as you can see. It's efficient, it's efficiently built. And I say that because the blade is actually, unlike mine, which have an LED strip going all through the blade, these have a single powerful LED light at the end. I'll open it up and show you. Right, so it's essentially a really powerful LED light right there, one that you don't want to look at because it is very bright, and that's pretty efficient. It's actually got something like a lens effect on the inside here, but it works pretty well, and this comes off pretty easily. I believe you can remove this blade if you need to, although I'm not exactly sure how. Looks like it's a little bit reflective on the inside. It's got a little bit of reflective tape on the inside, probably to help illuminate all the way up here. The top is a domed plug, which works better. I epoxied my domes on, which are not as good, so sometimes they can fly off. So far this one hasn't flown off, but I haven't been as violent with this one as my other lightsabers. So that part's pretty cool. Now obviously, just like most real lightsabers, there's no diadium power cell in here. This has batteries, right? We're going to turn this off and open this up and see what the power cell looks like in this thing. Is it diadium power cell? I don't think so. Alright, there's a little battery pack there. Ooh, that's going to be a little bit difficult to get out. So that is perhaps one thing counting against it. I'm going to have to get some pliers. Actually, you just shake it a little bit, it comes out. Alright, it's fairly simple. 4-pack of AAAs, no problem. A little bit of a Velcro here, keep it in. If it has a soundboard, I suppose that would be enough to power it. I'm not really sure. I'm not real familiar with soundboards yet, but eventually I will be. I'm still somewhat new to this. Simple wire going up to where the LED is. Very, very simple design. Simple is good. Now we'll say that this hilt is very light. It's aluminum, probably some sort of aircraft aluminum. It is very, very light. The end piece is relatively heavy, but it's a really cool looking end piece here. You can see that. Right, so here we go. Just put that back together. The decorations on this particular hilt, the Dorinian, are fairly basic. You've got something that looks like an LED light that does not light up. Just some little round pieces like I showed you before. Some nice patterns here. Now, how does this feel in the hand? Well, obviously down here is not so great, but it's good in the. Also, look at the balance point, right? So, looking at the balance point, it is really, really in the hilt here. So that makes it very easy to handle. It's really right there. It's right here. So if you have your hand right here, you've got real easy handling right here. Not a lot of weight in the blade at all, unlike mine, which has balance point more like way over here. This one's got very little weight in the blade. Of course, it's a little bit shorter, so that makes it handle pretty easily. The bottom hand obviously has to work around all this junk, but it's not uncomfortable, at all. And as you'll see in the video clips, the way it handles for me, it handles pretty fast. It's a fast lightsaber. It moves around very quickly, and it's very easy to handle. Now, maybe not as easy as a stunt saber, but still pretty easy. Okay, now the process of ordering. Well, what I didn't know is Ultrasabers does build-to-order lightsabers. So I guess they take the order and then they go ahead and build the hilt there. So that process, I was told, I was surprised it hadn't shipped yet. As soon as I ordered, I had no tracking number or anything. I'm like, oh, well, did they forget to send it? So I sent them an email and said, oh, well, all our sabers are built to order, so the turnaround time for that is about a week and a half. Well, it did take a lot longer. In this case, it took a couple of weeks. Maybe it was because it was the beginning of summer, they're a little bit busier. I'll give them some credit there, but at least they did get a response like in the same day and let me know, and then it did ship pretty quickly once it finally was sent, but it did take a little bit longer to build than both they told me and than that I expected. But still, it was worth it, and it got there, I'm fairly impressed with it. So I will be ordering more Ultrasabers in the future. Obviously, I'm going to have to order some other brands of lightsabers to review, and really looking forward to doing that. but the Dorinian works pretty well. Please say in the comments what kind of saber you think I should review next. And eventually I'll have to, who knows, I might even give some of these away to fans. Maybe we'll set up some sort of contest. But anyway, be sure to share, like, subscribe, and comment. If you have an Ultrasaber, feel free to chime in on what you think of them in the comments. And until next time, Light Warriors,